So, hey there YouTube, I think this is working. Trying one of these live streams again. We're at the UK Nationals, flying from Alger. It's not been a great comp so far. Well, on the basis that we haven't done much flying until today. So Sunday and Monday were much too much wind. Tuesday we went up the hill. Some people managed to launch, but then the wind was from the north and it started blowing over the back of launch. The thermals coming up the south face weren't strong enough to overcome it. So yeah, the north wind won out and it became unlaunchable, and we didn't get to fly yesterday. But today was a really good flight. So I'm at the Gold Field, which is kind of just to the north of Trent. It's by a beautiful lake. I'll just sort of pan around so you can kind of see the background of what's going on here. So yeah, I've done some of these showing it from the launch perspective before, so I thought I'd do a quick one from Goldfield because I made goal today. And also, if you see, I think this Puma here is the first one with a king posting to come in yet. Not sure. Yeah, and I did see some other sport class gliders on the course around who I thought were they were racing. They went more racy than I did. So the fact that they didn't beat me here suggests that they've probably landed out somewhere, failed to make it. Because to be honest, I found this quite a tough task. I probably went a different way to most people. I stayed on the main Alger ridge, jumped the gap across onto the other Alger, onto the sort of eastern end of the ridge. Then I took a really long detour around the head of the valley, just staying on the high ground, milking out every climb. I had an issue with my instrument that I've got a Bluetooth air pressure sensor that links to a Android tablet that I use for navigation, and for some reason the Bluetooth air pressure sensor gave up halfway round, so I was having to rely on the sort of fallback using GPS altitude on the instrument, which is really difficult to thermal like that because the GPS is all erratic, and so one moment it will tell you you're climbing 600 feet per minute, the next it will tell you you're going down. So very difficult to call thermals like that. So I took it really careful, stayed on the high ground. It meant flying past one of my turn points to get the first one, and then turning back to get the second one again after having gone through it once already, and then going back to the first turn point all over again, and then sticking to the ridge all the way round and just keeping my height just about. There was one to catch in the valley, and then it was a glide in here. And actually, for the first time ever, I managed to time one of my final glides pretty much to perfection. So to get into this field, if you see over the background, so there's a ridge there with some aerials on it. You've got to clear that ridge, and basically, well, I was told that if you clear that ridge, then because it's downwind all the way here, you'll make it easily, and did only just clear that ridge. And then of course you're behind the ridge, and down a ridge there's always going to be sink, so it was really sinking the first bit coming here, and I thought I was actually probably going to not make the goal. I thought I was going to have to turn back into wind and land a kilometre or two short of this, but luckily I just picked up, after I got out of the sink from behind that ridge, I got some little blips of buoyant air that I was just able to slow the glider right up in and just sort of milk them, and actually came into goal pretty much perfect height, just enough height to do a 180 degree turn into wind, and landed really nicely as well. So yeah, all in all, I think that's been a perfect flight. So yeah, just a little, if you have a look around the Goldfield, this is sort of how hang gliding competitions work. If they set the task right, then they're aiming to get somewhere around a quarter or a third of pilots in goal. If you get more pilots in goal than that, then they think it's too easy. You're supposed to see some landing out. It looks like for the main class that's probably about right. I think there's one or two gliders already de-rigged. I can't see anyone in the air on their way flying in now. We just had a couple land. And yeah, so it's probably pretty well set for the open, for the toplesses. I think for the sports, as I say, I was actually quite late starting, and went quite slowly around the course, and I'm still the first one in here, so it actually looks like I'm probably the only one in goal, which is quite nice to me, but it probably they count that as having overset. Oh, having said I couldn't see any gliders in here, there's actually 2 up there. Let's see if I can swing. Can I spin this camera around? Oh yeah, there we go. Is that going to work? See, yeah, there we go. So let's just watch these two come into land. I don't actually know who either of them are. I've got a feeling that could be Sean Kimberley, maybe, who red tips on it. And there's a rigid who's probably Stuart Reed, I'm going to guess. So yeah, they're just burning off height. As is Sod's Law, they're both at about the same altitude, so they're both setting up to land at exactly the same time. It always seems to be the way. Whenever you come in, you don't see anybody all fly, and then you get to the goal field and suddenly you're all trying to land at once. Oh, Stuart looks like he's gone over there to land in the actual field. Most of us are landed by the lake, on the dried up lake bed, but that's actually the official goal field that Stuart's going into there, and whoever this one is above looks like he's going to try for the lake. Although actually, I don't know, let's see where Stuart goes. I think he's going to vanish behind those trees, isn't he? And let's just watch this. Got sight of him. Yeah, it's quite nice. Couldn't quite see the touchdown, but it looked fine. What I could see through the bushes looked fine, and now whoever this is just about to come in as well. I don't think it is Sean, actually. I'm not sure who that is. That's an American flag on the nose, might be clear. Oh, it's Darren Brown, I think. Oh yeah, Darren Brown on his brand new glider doing a perfect landing. Oh, and looks like my proof driver's just arrived now. So you're live on YouTube.
Oh, hello YouTube. Hello you.
Hello. Yeah, that's Darren, isn't it? That's just
Yes,
landed
Darren.
over there. Yeah. So yeah, he's unfortunately he's in goal. It's not one of the first ones. I'm sure you'll get one of his YouTube videos about. Oh, that how the flight works. What? No, that's Darren Brown on his new glider.
Ah, right, okay.
Anyway,
Don't get tipped.
I'm going to go and get de-rigged now and sort things out.